What's up guys, today's video I'm going to be reacting to your GoPro B-roll edits that you've all submitted as part of the MusicBed challenge. So a couple of weeks ago I submitted a challenge with $1,000 prize money up for grabs, and today I get to showcase and share with you the winner and your edits. So let's get stuck into it.
My riches is life.
Sleeping on my shoulder, dancing in a dream.
I wanted to kick this video off by just jumping in and having a look at some of my favorite edits. Then later on in the video, we're going to be chatting to Abe Kislevitz, who's the Senior Creative Director at GoPro. He's going to be sharing and announcing the winner. Some things that I put in the description of the video, which I said to think about when creating your GoPro B-roll, was pacing of the edit in sync with the music. We'll talk about that later with some of these videos, then creative direction with the transitions and the cuts, and then harmony within the overall B-roll edit. With all the edits that I'm going to show you, be sure to check out the creators who are all linked in the description. The first edit, let's check it out.
When you're sleeping on my shoulder, dancing in a dream, it feels like getting older. It's scary as it seems.
This was one of my favorite edits. It just had so much dynamics to it. And when you go to the extremes of creating these dynamic edits where you're using different parts of the tracks, there's a whole heap of sound design going on, it can be either award-winning or it can miss the mark. Constructively, what I will say is that I love seeing creators go to these lengths of creating their best work. Like, this is incredible. And if you expanded this story to, 10 minutes, this is like a cinematic vlog. This has absolutely everything. It's color graded. It has incredible cuts. The POV shots are awesome. The sound design is absolutely incredible. In terms of like B-roll challenge, I guess it doesn't quite sit amongst what other creators have chosen to do with B-roll. Really, really cool edit. Well done. When I go back to the talking point about pacing, the pacing of it is, it's really nice. So you get this build, there's these beautiful establishing shots, there's this drop, and it's almost like a climax, like cool, we're into the energy and the action, and then it's over. The pacing of the edit could be improved, and by that I mean either having like a high five or a fist pump or something at the end, which alludes to, all right, cool, we've wrapped this up, rather than just stopping. But yeah, that edit, even in 9/16, I thoroughly enjoyed it. That's one of my top 5. To be honest, I don't know why this video didn't make the top 3. It wasn't in Abe's selection, but I think if I was to be constructive about where the video could improve, was just the way that the camera was moving. It was a little bit jarring. And so maybe that touches on harmony. As the selfie stick is coming around and we're seeing the audience, it's cutting from like left to right, and from the next scene to left to right, The fourth clip, it then goes back the other way. That little point, you can iron that out. You could have cut that clip out and it could have gone straight to the POV. And that would have been like, cool, that's a nice flow of transitioning clips. That's it. I really, really dug that edit. So thank you for sending that one in, bro. This video, I think, has the best transition work in the entire contest. I was chatting to Abe about this. So I was like, did you see this video? Every transition is super cool. And it's a really great example of what can be achieved with not much expensive gear. The visual transitions to come from like this shot, it goes into a coconut and then the coconut goes into the bottle. Like that is epic. I think the one thing that it lacks is that the music has really no importance in the edit. I could watch this video without the music and it would just be great. You know, I could watch it with the sound off. So maybe it was the creative decision to use that softer track, which just feels like it's sort of sitting in the background. And when we talk about harmony, how can you more harmoniously include the music so that it really syncs with the B-roll? Here is a good example of how the track has been used to build the story and then get to the adventurous moment.
Let's do it.
You know, the pacing is really good, the harmony, the song selection is good. I think if anything, it may lack a little bit of story in comparison to the other videos. And that's probably what's elevated those videos as opposed to this one. Pretty much 100% shot on GoPro. It's cool, it's got all the sort of GoPro transitions and wow factor elements to it that you'd want. Color's great, like it's a great edit. So not much I can really critique about that other than well done and keep creating and keep making cool videos. Another great entry and awesome to see a female creator submitting as part of this challenge. This video has everything, and that's maybe its downfall. It's got really cool transitions, a lot of different sequencing, a lot of different pacing, drone shots, it's got GoPro shots, it's got selfie POV, it has everything. And I think maybe constructively, it just needed to reduce a little bit of the jar with some of the clips. Like there's some transitions in this video that sort of are abrupt, and I would say this one, so it sort of throws you off a little bit, which then affects the overall pacing of the edit. Like this sequence here, really cool. We've got the jump, we've got another top shot down, and we've got 2 shots of like waves, which is really clean. That is a beautiful sequence of transitions. But then we come here and it's like horse, boat. So there's just things which sort of aren't harmoniously together. This is a really great example of a creator growing. The perfect video. It's like showcasing that the creator has tried different transitions. They've tried different cameras. They've tried different angles. That's the most exciting thing to see, because over time, a creator like that is really going to develop their skills and make something incredible of their work. So I really, really dig this video for all of those reasons.
The ones that I felt like really stood out to me were the ones where the music kind of took you to a different dimension, where I think normally you're kind of letting either the footage breathe or the sound breathe, but sometimes you do need that music to kind of like pull you through. And a lot of times you can use music to take, not to say that footage is mundane, but like take kind of more basic video footage, and if it's cut really well and you kind of have the pacing right, then it can elevate your video to the next level.
Coming in at number 3.
Okay, number 3 is the skateboarding video.
Very first entry that hit my inbox the day the contest launched. If this is the standard of B-roll that's coming in, wow, we have a challenge in our hands.
Oh yes. So I really liked this video, and I don't want to like hate on skateboarding at all, but I think it's really difficult to make a skateboarding video that kind of transports you to a different place, because skate parks are so small, and a lot of skate videos that you see, and we always, like at GoPro, we have tried to put a skate park kind of video into launch videos for years, and they always end up getting axed because it just doesn't feel big enough. And this video, the way that the music was integrated with the cuts and the filming angles were super low, I felt like it was a skate video that somebody that wasn't into skating would appreciate and be into, and I watched to the very end. I think the only reason that I had it in third place is the end just kind of peters out. So if there was like just an end where it's like even a high 5 or something, I would have, it could have moved up, but third place I think is a very good place for this one.
All right, so number 2.
Okay, second place. This is not because they, I think, live in my backyard, maybe like 5 minutes away from actually where I live, but I recognized a bunch of spots. But I would call number 2 the Encinitas Bros. Track that was really fun and upbeat, but you could tell that it was edited really well to the beat, and it was kind of like your classic GoPro launch video. You have a good story arc the whole way. You have the rising to action, you have the surf segment, and then transitions into the bike segment, into the skate segment, and then a good finisher and close it off. And it was just a all around solid video, solid beat hits, and it was energetic and fun.
This video, it also grew, you know. It was like, it started with like some nice establishing shots. Okay, he's like surfing, he's wakeboarding, and then there was that fist pump, you know, as the beat
Yeah.
dropped. That was the bit that got me. That was the bit that won me over. I was like, okay, damn. And from that, it moved into like two really tidy transitions, which was like the bike driving past and the camera sort of pulling, and then another shot of like the skater going onto that same pathway, and then you're in the sky. I was like, boom, 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 win. Constructively, are there any points that you would say this video could improve on? Or
I feel like I really love to get a little bit of personality in edits and feel like I get to know the people. The one aspect of this is I didn't feel like I really got to know these dudes.
Yeah.
They seem really cool and they look like they have a lot of fun, and like the fist pound was a good one.
Yeah.
But anytime you can kind of jump out and give us like a real moment or just some audio that kind of goes along with it, then you can add that extra layer of personality into the video, which would be huge.
We've got one more to announce.
Yes, the first place one.
Should we drum roll this?
We can both drum roll, yeah. Okay, first place is the India Color Fest hat story.
You know what? The hat, as you say it, that for me, that was it. When I think about that video, it's like the first and the final scene. It's this seamless loop. Like, tell me your thoughts on why this is number one.
Yeah, I think you want videos to leave a mark and you want to have something that you remember. And sometimes videos, so much happens, but it just kind of like drones through your brain. And I feel like this one really stood out because it opens on this cold opening of the hat hanging on the wall, and then it cuts out and you're just like, what? Like, what is this guy doing? What is this edit? And then it kind of slowly gets into it and it goes into the whole story, and then I'm vibing. Like the music is great and I'm feeling like I'm there with these guys and they're just having the most amazing trip with the locals, and then they get into this color fest and then they get covered in color. And then it cuts back to that same hat and he's hanging on the wall and it's a dirty hat covered in color. And you're just like, oh my gosh, I get the intro now.
And I want to watch it again because I'm back to the start.
Exactly. So yeah, I think this one was amazing. It was a great story. It left a lasting impression. And I laughed once it finally got to the end because you have this discoverability as somebody watching it. So you kind of go through this transformation. But then I also think that the music was unique and I felt like it really elevated the sort of memorable aspect of it and transcended into a different place.
Any final thoughts? Any final words?
I'm watching all of these videos with fresh eyes, thinking these are really cool ideas, and everyone is so unique. So the way that I would think about making an edit is always going to be different than the way that, like, I would never think of that hat story. And then once you see it, you become inspired and you're like, oh my gosh, what could I do? And I think it's such a cool community where everybody is always just in their own personalities creating these works of art, and it's really fun to just be able to experience it and get inspired by your guys' work and other people's work. So thank you.
Thank you so much for checking out this video. If you have enjoyed this, punch the thumbs up button, subscribe to my YouTube channel if you're new around here. Be sure to check out some of the other GoPro Hero 9 tips and tricks videos that might, help develop your skills as a GoPro filmmaker or even just as an editor. But yeah, I've really enjoyed hosting this challenge and seeing all of your work. So thank you for participating. I'll see you guys in the next upload. JR. Peace.